Okay, so on to the next track in what has been already an unbelievable series. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful series. Love this. If you're only jumping on now, I implore you to go back and listen from the beginning, from episode 1, because I promise you it's beautiful, right? Easy listening, using powerful stuff, absolutely amazing. And the series is called Vicky's Harmonic Highway, or Harmony Highway, excuse me, and it's a series by Vicky Smith. So the very next track that we are going to listen to, or performance rather, is Nick Cave. Now we've listened to Nick Cave a couple of times. I think we've listened to Nick Cave, and we've listened to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, if I'm not mistaken. But this one over here is just called the Nick Cave. God is in the house. This sounds very interesting. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we've got over here. Let's go. Whatever.
1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. We've laid the cables and the wires. We've split the wood and stoked the fires. We've lit our town so there is no place for crime to hide. Our little church is painted white, and in the safety of the night we all go quiet as a mouse, for the word is out that God is in the house. God is in the house. God is in the house. No cause for worry now. God is in the house. Moral sneaks in the White House, computer geeks in the schoolhouse, drug freaks in the crack house. We don't have that stuff here. We got a tiny little force. Oh yes, we need them, of course, for the kittens in the trees, and at night we're on our knees as quiet as a mouse, for God is in the house.
Beautiful song. Okay, so for me it's obviously a song of faith, right? And it kind of, I don't know, for some odd reason it feels to me like it's like just human nature, is that we do want something deeper. We want something meaningful, and we want a relationship with something powerful. Like, you want to have that meaning. But do we actually really believe in a God, essentially? Or do we only believe in a God when we need him, right? Or do we believe in a God when we're in a situation where it feels like it's completely desperate at the end of the day? So it's almost like, yes, we've got this white church over there, but God is only in the house when we need him to be in the house. But when we don't need him, we're as quiet as a mouse, right? We don't speak, we don't pray, we don't do any of those kind of things, because it's easy to sort of turn away from him when life is going good, but turn back to him only when we're in complete despair. I don't know if that's the premise of the song over here. It could literally just be about just getting together as a community, and that little church, regardless of what's happening outside and how some things can be really damaging to my existence. It's kind of like that's the place of healing. So outside of that is where we live our lives, and things go wrong, and when we feel like we need to sort of get ourselves back into line, we go to church, and that's where we find our healing. I'm not sure if it's my first premise or not, or let's carry on listening.
It is a mouse, for God is in the house. God is in the house. God is in the house. No cause for worry now. God is in the house.
It's a beautiful song.
Homos roaming the streets in packs, queer bashers with tire jacks, lesbian counterattacks. That stuff is for the big cities. Our town is very pretty. We have a pretty little square. We have a woman for a mayor. Our policy is firm but fair. Now that God is in the house.
Okay, so now I kind of feel like he's playing into the contradiction of, being for everybody, in terms of like there's a specific ideology to religion, there's a specific ideology to faith and Christianity. Right, and that ideology only encompasses a certain group of people, and it leaves outside of that people that don't quite fit into the doctrine and dogma of the church and things like that. Right, so I feel that that's probably where he's going over there, saying like, if God is accepting of everybody, then he's accepting of absolutely everybody, human race as a whole, right? So I almost kind of feel like he's splitting the tiers over here, where it's like religion and God are two very different things, where it's like God is all accepting, but religion isn't, essentially. So it's almost like, okay, well, God is in the house, God is here for healing, God is here for everybody. Right, but the religion has got a certain standard, which is what religion's based on. It's based on certain sets of rules and things like that. It's a certain doctrine, and it feels like it only encompasses certain people, and it leaves others out just because they don't kind of make up the norm. Do you know what I mean? They're outside of the norm. I kind of feel like that's where he's going with this now.
Now that God is in the house, God is in the house, God is in the house. Any day now he'll come out. God is in the house.
I don't know why I'm kind of getting like this is kind of satirical to a certain degree. I'm sensing a bit of sarcasm over here, and I think it's actually intended to kind of like make a point where people are so attached to God, but then it also plays to their hypocrisy. I'm not sure. It might not be that at all. I'm just getting a notion of that for some reason. I'm not sure. Let's carry on. The instrumentation in this as well.
Well-meaning little therapists, goose-stepping, 12-stepping teetotalitarianists, The tipsy, the reeling, and the drop-down pissed. We got no time for that stuff here. Zero crime and no fear, and we've bred all our kittens white so that you can see them in the night. And at night we're on our knees, as quiet as a mouse.
Okay, yeah, no, I see. This song is about the hypocrisy. I think it's about the hypocrisy of the church, and it's about the morality that religion and the church and possibly Christianity or whatever it is, it could be any religion, sort of exalts, but then as human beings do the opposite as well, right? So it's like saying, like, you know, you act like the good people, right? But in the shadows, you're just like everybody else, essentially. And they play into I think he's playing into the hypocrisy. It is somewhat satire here, if I'm not mistaken. You guys let me know. For those of you who know the song, you guys let me know in the comment section if I'm right or wrong.
And at night we're on our knees, as quiet as a mouse, since the word got out. From the north down to the south, there's no one left in doubt. There's no fear about if we all hold hands and very quietly shout, Hallelujah.
Ooh. No, he's making
God is in the house. God is in the house, so I wish he would come out. God is in the house.
Shit. That was a very clever song, very well delivered, at least by my interpretation of it. Yeah, again, I'm sticking with that. It's playing to the hypocrisy of church-going people that feel that they're more righteous than the ones outside of the pews, essentially. So if we here in the pews as quiet as a mouse, listening to the scriptures and then holding hands and singing hallelujah, right, God is in the house, it's almost like they feel like God is in the house for them because they are more righteous and greater than those outside of the church. But when they come outside of the church and they do all of those things outside of the church and they sin outside of the church and things like that, just like every other human being does, they don't tend to see that. They feel that they can get cleansed as and when they want to. They're better people purely just because they go to church, but they actually are like horrible people outside of church. So it's almost using church as a cudgel, as an umbrella that sort of shelters them from any criticism because I'm a good person and you're not because I'm a churchgoer. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down below. That was actually a very cool song, very interesting song. I like songs like this. It gets you really thinking, and at least that's my interpretation. You let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.